Hello everyone, how are you? How's it going? Hope you're doing good. Well, it's time. Feels like it's time to into. So today, let's talk about something really interesting and let's build something really amazing. Wow. Are you guys ready for that? You know what? I really want to feel energies. Are you guys ready for that? Just say something. Okay, that's great. So today, let's focus on a project called flower classification. Wow. That sounds a little bit interesting, right? Flower classification. Yeah, we all know there are a lot of beautiful flowers in this world. And has anyone heard of iris flower? Yeah, anyone, it's your time, just spit it out. Has anyone heard of iris flower? It's like a blue color, I guess. Anyone? I told you it's your time, just spit it out. Anyone? Okay, don't be confused. I'm gonna show you that. Just look at the screen. Well, I hope you can see the screen. And this is how does iris flower would look like. It's really beautiful, isn't it? Just look at that. And you know what? There are types of iris flowers out there. I mean, the flower has classified into 3 types. Just look at the screen. It's over there. Can anyone read what about the first one? It says iris versicolor, right? What about the second one? It says iris setosa. And the third one, can anyone read what it says? It says iris virginica. But I'm confused a little bit. How we can classify these 3 flowers? Any guess from anyone? It's your time, just spit it out. How we can classify these 3 flowers? I told you there are 3 types, right? Which are they? Iris versicolor, iris setosa, and what about the last one? Iris virginica. So these are the 3 types of classification or species. But how we can classify this? Yeah, it's your time, just spit it out. Wow, some of you are saying something. Anyway, I can explain. By just looking at its sepal and petal, we can identify the classification or the species which belongs to. It's all about the length and width of that sepal and petal. That's it. Hope you got it. So just keep in mind, by looking at the measurement of sepal and petal, we can identify the classification of iris flower. So today, we'll be focusing on a project called iris flower classification. So all you have to do, just give the measurements of sepal and petal of the flower to the project, and the project has to predict the flower in which category it belongs to, or in which species or in which classification it belongs to. So that's all about the project concept. I'm gonna show you that. Don't be confused. Just look at the screen again. Well, I hope you can see the screen, and over there you can see something, right? Okay, hold on. Let me maximize a little bit. And here we go. There you can see some numbers like 4.6, 3.4, and 1.4 and 0.3. And you know what? These are actually the measurements of an iris flower. And over there you can see a run button, right? Over there you can see a run button. So whenever I click on this option, the project has to predict the category or the classification which this measurement or the flower belongs to. Now some of you may be thinking, how do I get these measurements, right? As I'm not having the flower in my hand yet. So don't be confused. In the Google, we have a data sheet for the iris flower, where we'll be having measurements of these 3 classifications. Wait, I just forgot. Which are the classification actually? Yeah, iris setosa, iris virginica, iris versicolor. So inside the data sheet, we will be having a lot of measurements of these 3 classifications. I'm going to show you that. Just look at the screen. Well, I hope you can see the screen, and this is how does our data sheet would look like. And over there you can see a lot of measurements, right? And the first one says sepal length, and the second one says sepal width. What about the third one? Can you read what it says? Petal length, and the last one is around petal width. So these are the measurements actually, and here we have a lot of measurements. Anyway, let's pick one of the measurements and let's add into the project, and the project has to predict in which species or in which category it belongs to. So let's pick the third one, right? So what it says, the sepal length is around 4.7. So here I'm gonna add the same. Well, I hope you can see the screen, and the first one, I mean this one stands for the sepal length. So here I'm gonna add 4.7. Well, exactly like this. And the second one stands for the sepal width. And what about the value? I just forgot. Okay, let's figure it out again. Well, it says 3.2. Just look at the sepal width. It says 3.2. So here I'm gonna fill it with 3.2. The second one. So it has to be 3.2. It's all about the sepal width. And what about the third one? It should be petal length, right? So here it says 1.4. Anyway, let's figure it out, the data sheet. Well, petal length is around 1.3. Am I right? Just look at the third one. It says 1.3. So here I'm gonna add 1.3 over there. 1.3 for the third one. It's all about the petal length, right? So that's perfect. And what about the last one? This is all about the petal width. So what about the value? Anyway, I'm just confused. Let's look at the data sheet again, right? Okay, look at the fourth one, which means petal width. It's around 0.2. Exactly the same. Okay, now look at the species. These measurements belongs to the species called, or the category or the classification called iris setosa. So the project has to predict this measurement belongs to Iris setosa. So let's figure it out, right? Well, I hope you can see the screen. So here I'm gonna add 0.2. And that's it. These are all the measurements, and I told you the measurements you will be getting from the Google. You will be downloading. You will be getting the link from the supporting material. I'm gonna show in detail. Anyway, here we go. Let's figure it out. The species or the classification which it belongs to. I mean the measurement or the flower belongs to. So here I'm gonna press this button and let's see. Wow, look at that. At the bottom there you can see, right? Or there you can see it says Iris setosa. So that's perfect. So this how does it work actually? All I need to do is just give the measurements to the project and the project will be predicting exactly the species or the classification which belongs to. So how's that? That's pretty amazing, right? What do you guys think? So this is all about that we'll be focusing today. Sarek is ready for that. I told you I just want to feel energy. Sarek is ready for that. It's all about Python coding. I'm going to let you know in detail. So first of all, let's talk about what are the things that we'll be learning today. So here I'm going to share my screen and let's figure it out. Well, I hope you can see the screen and these are the things that we'll be learning today. Have a look. I told you today we'll be making something really amazing and that is what is this project. Wait, what is your project name again? Yeah, what is your project name? Just look at the screen. What it says. Exile, Iris DNN Classifier. And it's all about Python coding. Trust me, this is gonna be so easy. And we'll be learning Google Colab. Actually, that's the software that we'll be using for making this project. And you know what? That's so easy to use. And it's completely free. I'm gonna show you that in detail. And then let's talk about machine learning. Wait, machine learning. Has anyone heard this word before? Machine learning. What does that mean? Feels like I told you before, right? But I just forgot. Can you help me out? What does that mean? Machine learning. Okay, don't be confused. I'm gonna show you that. Just look at the screen. Well, I hope you can see the screen. So can you read what it says? Feels like some of you are saying something I really appreciate. So just keep in mind, machine learning, it's all about a word called, can you guess what it was? Exactly, training or teaching. I told you before, right? Just keep in mind, it's all about the word training or teaching. We could easily say like it's all about training or teaching a machine to learn things on its own. Just like we humans learn things every day, right? So same as it's all about training or teaching a machine to learn things on its own. That's it. Still confused? Okay, here we go. Let's go with an example. Just imagine you have a robot friend and who wants to play a new game. So I really wanted to know how are you going to explain the game? I mean the game rules and regulations. How are you going to explain? Just spit it out. It's your time. Yeah, can anyone? How are you going to explain the game, rules, regulations and something? Some of you are saying something I really appreciate. Probably you're going to explain everything in step by step, right? You're going to explain everything in detail. But listen, instead of telling the robot exactly what to do in step by step, you can show the video. You can show the video of how to play that game and let it figure it out the best way to win by itself. So this is all about machine learning. I hope you got it. So just keep in mind, it's all about the word training or teaching. That's it. That's all about machine learning actually. Now let's talk about next. That is what is neural network. Wait, what did I say? Neural network. What does that mean? Has anyone heard this word before? Neural network? Anyone? Just spit it out. Okay, don't be confused. I'm gonna show it. Just look at the screen. Well, I hope you can see the screen and over there you can see something, right? Can you read what it says? Anyone? Okay, don't be confused. It's all about exactly how does our brain works. It's all about identifying image through some layers. There would be an input layer and the last one it's all about output layer and in between we have some hidden layers. I'm gonna show you that. Don't be confused. Just look at the screen. Let's have a little bit experiment. Well, I hope you can see the screen and over there you can see an animal, right? Can anyone figure it out the name? What about the name? Anyone? Some of you are saying something. Of course, it's a cat, right? Of course, it's a cat. But let me ask you something. How did you identify these as a cat? Yeah, spit it out. It's your time. How did you identify these as a cat? Exactly, from the past experience, right? In your brain, you stored like this is how does a cat look like? You know the structure, you know the shape, you know the ear, how does it look like of a cat? So this how does you know this is a cat? So this is exactly how does a neural network works. You will be identifying an image according to its shape, the structure and something. So I'm going to show you that. Just look at the screen again. Well, I hope you can see the screen again and over there you can see some layers in between, right? So this is what I said. We have some layers. That is what is the input layer. It's all about giving the image. And the last one is output. That's a predictable or that's the result actually. And in between we have some hidden layers. and each layer will be focusing on each part. One may be focusing on the structure, and the second may be focusing on the ear, and the third one may be focusing on the eyes. So these orders, or by combining these things, you'll be getting the final output or the predictable result. Well, that's all about neural networks. Now it's time to get it done the project. You guys are ready for that, right? But hold on. Before Intuin, I wanted to download a data sheet. I mean the Iris Flower data sheet from the Google. So no need to worry about it. You will be getting the downloading link from the supporting material. So I wanted to download the data sheet from the Google. So just get it download. It's your time. You will be getting the downloading link from the supporting material. And I want you to download exactly the same. Because let's use the same data sheet. So everyone has to download it. It's your time. Well, I hope you're downloaded. Now let's do the project, right? But let me make sure a little bit, which are the categories of Iris Flower? I mean, I told you there are 3 types of classification, right? But I just forgot the name. Can anyone help me out? What about the names? Yeah, it's all about Iris setosa, Iris virginica, and what about the last one? Or the third one? Exactly, Iris versicolor. So these are the classifications, these are the species of Iris flower. Just keep in mind. Now, I want you to open Google and just search Google Colab. Just look at the screen. Well, I hope you can see the screen. Now I want you to search Google Colab, exactly like this. And here we go. We'll be having a lot of options from here. I want you to click the first one, exactly the first one. And it's loading a little bit. And then we'll be having a page like this. Okay, hold on. I have been using the software, so for me it shows like this. It may be different for you. So hold on, I'm going to show you that. Well, I hope you can see the screen. You will be having a page like this probably. If you are new into Google Colab, then all you need to do, just click on the option called Google Colab. Though you can see some options like Google Colab, right? Somewhere. So just click on it. That's it. And then you will be having a page like this. So look at the screen again. And then you will be having a page like this. From here, I want you to click the option called a new notebook. Although you can see an option, right? Just click on it. And it's loading. We need to wait a little bit. And here we go. This is how does it look like. Though you can see some tools, components and something. Now, first of all, I want you to upload the data that you have downloaded just before. I told you to download a spreadsheet, right? We will be having a lot of measurements of Iris flower. So I want you to upload that data over here. So I'm going to show you how to upload that data. So for that, you can see a file symbol, right? Just click on it and wait a little bit. And though you can see an option called upload. Did you see that? Everyone has to just look at the screen. Just click on it. And it will be redirected to the system file, and you need to make sure the path. I mean, you need to click exactly the file where you have downloaded. So here I'm gonna select exactly the same file and clicking open option. And look at that, although you can see the data, right? So it just came here. So same as everyone has to do it. Just upload the data, the Iris data. Exactly the same. Well, I hope you have completed. Now let's do the project. So for that, though you can see some options like code, text. Did you see that? And there you can see something like this, right? Here we'll be doing the coding. So first of all, let's add some libraries for the numerical computations and the data frame and something. I'm going to show you that. So just look at the screen. I want you to type exactly the same code. Here I'm going to add a little bit of code and I want you to type exactly the same. And I'm going to explain everything in detail. Here we go. Okay, I hope you can see the code. Now I want you to type exactly the same. It's your time. Okay, let me maximize a little bit so it's easily visible. So here we go. I want you to type exactly the same. It's your time. I'm going to let you know everything in detail. Well, I hope you have completed. Now it's time to let you know one by one. So just look at the first one. What it says, import NumPy. I told you it's all about the library actually. And this library stands for the numerical computations. The NumPy stands for the numerical computations actually. And here you can see NP, which means later if you really needed to call NumPy, we will be calling NP. It's like setting the name. It's like a nickname actually. Just keep in mind it's like a nickname. And although you can see pandas, which stands for, I told you, it's also a library for getting the data analysis and data frames and something. And later, if you really needed to call pandas, we will be calling PD. It's like a nickname, just like the previous one. And the last one we use it for the visualization actually. Now, I want you to click this option. Although you can see the run button, right? To compile, actually, it's like a compiling button. So just click on it. Let's figure it out if there is any error or something. It's perfect. Although you can see a tick mark, right? Well, now it's time to set the next code for that. Either you can just click on this option. At the top there you can see an option called code, right? Or else you can see something from here. Just point your mouse cursor over here and then you will be having options like code, text. Just click on the option called code. And we'll be having the second line. And here I'm gonna add something. So have a look, and everyone has to type the same, exactly the same. And I'm gonna let you know in detail. And here we go. Well, I hope you can see the screen. Now the thing is, I want you to type exactly the same. This is really important. You need to make sure the comma and whatever inside exactly the same. It's your time. Just get it done. I told you I'm gonna let you know in detail. So first of all, you need to type exactly the same. Well, I hope you're completed. Now it's time to let you know how does this code works. So over there you can see an option called the columns, right? So just keep in mind it's all about creating a box, and the columns will be named as sepal length. This is all about the first one, and sepal width, petal length, petal width, and class labels. Class labels indicates the species actually. I mean the classification. You know it, right? That Iris setosa, Iris virginica, and what about the last one? Iris versicolor, exactly. So this is all about creating the column. And here you can see something like this. This is all about uploading the data that we have downloaded. You remember that iris.data. So here you can see the same, right? So make sure the name is correct. Over there you can see the name exactly like this, right? So iris.data, and here you need to mention the exactly the same name. And here we go. I wanted to click this option again, the run button again, and it's loading a little bit. Let's wait. Wow, look at that. There you can see a box, right? There you can see the columns which says sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and the class labels, which means the species or the classification. That's pretty cool. And you know what? Inside here, you can add the count, then the table will be visible for up to that number. Okay, don't be confused. I'm going to show you that. So here I'm going to give 40, and let me run once again. And then you will be able to see the table rows up to 40. So this is pretty amazing, right? So same as this, you can give any number. So let me back to normal. That's pretty cool. Now it's time to set the next one. I mean the next code. For that I told you just click this code option again. I wanted to do the same. Now look what I'm going to add inside. And here we go. I wanted to type the same, exactly the same. It's your time. I'm going to let you know in detail. First of all, you need to type exactly the same. Well, I hope you're completed. Now it's time to let you know one by one. So just look at the first one, what it says data equal to. Did you see that? So this line extracts the values from the pandas data frame and will be stored over the data, and numpy called data. So this is all about the first line. And look at the next one, what it says x is equal to data. Did you see that? So this line indicates it will create a new array for x. We will be having all the rows but columns up to 4, which means index 0 to 3. This is all about this line. And what about the third one, y equal to data? So this line indicates or creates a new array for y. It includes all the rows, but column is all about the fifth one, or the index 4. That's all about this one. And print y stands for whatever inside that y, which means the species, I guess. I mean the labels. You remember that classification. Anyway, let's try. So just click on this option again. I mean the run button. And wow, did you see that? Or you can see the species, right? Because here we have mentioned print y. That's pretty cool. Now it's your time. Everyone has to do the same. Just check it. Well, I hope you got the same. It's not that tough, I guess. Now we need to get it done a little bit more, but it's time. Feels like it's time to wind up. So that will be focusing on the next class actually. Let's talk about what are the things that we learned today. So in the beginning we were talking about the project, right? It's all about identifying the species or the classification of iris flower. And I just want to make sure which are they? I mean the 3 types of classification: Iris setosa, virginica, and what about the last one? I just forgot. Versicolor, exactly. So these are the classifications. So our project, it's like we'll be giving the measurements of sepal and petal, and the project has to predict the flower in which category it belongs to. So that's all about the project concept. That will be finalizing in the next session actually. And we talked about machine learning. I told you it's really important. Just keep in mind that one word, it's all about training. The word training or teaching computer or machine to learn things on its own. That's it. And we talked about neural networks. I told you it's exactly how does the brain works to identify or processing an image. That's it. So that's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.